Yes, I feel real danger. This world ain't simple, but I'm strong, I know how to get out. So, my name is Céla Sou. I'm a Belgian artist, I speak Flemish. I actually did 3 years of classical training on guitar. I listened a lot to things like Erykah Badu, Lauryn Hill, and I think I just absorbed the things I listened to, and then this sound came out. Also listened a lot to hip-hop. I'm as much into electro stuff than I'm into soul and jazz, you know, so I think my music is a bit of a mixture, a bit of raga. I love the patois sound and a bit of soul, and that's what I do. Sometimes only with guitar, sometimes with a band. I have 1 album out now, which is cool. Yeah, well, actually, I don't have the kind of family that was really into music, you know. I really had to discover it myself when I was about 14, you know, when puberty hits in, and when, you know, when I started to think about myself, you know, having some issues with myself, you know, self-acceptance, insecurities, you know. It was a bit my way to spread things out or something. And I think musically, yeah, it really started out with Lauryn Hill with me. I remember that. Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, and I discovered it, you know, through internet, you know, through, what was it, MySpace at the time, and YouTube and MTV and friends at school and stuff. So yeah, that's how I got to learn them. My home is Belgium, and actually, you know, Belgium is really small, and you have 2 parts, and the upper part is Flanders, you know, the Flemish part, and you have Wallonie, and that's the French part. And I live in the Flemish part. And actually that's pretty separated, you know, the French part and the Flemish part. And in the Flemish part you have a lot of rock. You don't have a lot of soul and hip-hop. Think what I do. I'm pretty much alone in what I do in the Flemish part. But you have a lot of talent there, you know. You also have a lot of electronical scene is pretty big there. Like dubstep as well. I also love dubstep. I do it as well in Belgium. MC with a band of mine as well. Yeah, that's about rock and electronical music is the biggest scene, I think. Like how the music then is in back home and the music is here. Yeah, you know, of course, it's like I only listen to music from here, you know. It's the same thing I always say, that I also learn my English through The Simpsons and Friends, you know. It's like I got such a big influence from America, you know, and I think everybody in Belgium especially, you know, Europe, I really love Europe. I would never abandon it. I really love to live in Belgium, but yeah, you just get the most things out of the US, you know. It's pretty easy, yeah, but it's good because you have a lot of good things here, of course. Yeah, I was about 14 and I had a really hard puberty, you know. I really suffered from depressions, you know. It's partly genetically, of course, but you know, with me it was everything around it, and I really had a hard time accepting who I was. So my whole first album is about learning to accept who I am, you know, learning to understand who I am, you know, learning to accept your weak parts. And you know, it started out just by finding some notes on guitar, you know, learning chords through the internet, and I never took singing lessons, so I think I just have a really good hearing and a good vocal cords, and then, you know, the music came out. Yeah, well, actually, that's I think it's the biggest challenge, because it's a long campaign with this album, and also I wrote most songs when I was 17, 18, and I'm 23, so it's 5 years ago. So I'm so ready to do something else. I'm really ready to start on my second album, but it's still my baby, you know, and it's still a good opportunity, you know. It worked really well in Europe, so it's just a chance that I can try it here as well, you know, and we'll see. If not, then I can start earlier my second album, which is really nice as well. If it works, then it's also nice, and I can tour here and discover the US and America. Yeah. Yeah, actually, that's the thing. It's not my, and it's maybe so typical, but you know, if it doesn't really gonna work here as much as in Europe or something, I really don't care. You know, I just hope that I can live from it the rest of my life, and just that I can travel. You know, that I can travel and I can see. I never been, like 4 years ago, I never been ever outside of Europe, you know, so it's just a new world, and it's amazing. And I have time now, you know, I'm young, I'm 23, so I have time, so why not? So it's really cool. Well, I think it's only my first album. I want to show a lot more because, as I said, I listened as much to electronical music and dubstep than I listened to hip hop and soul music. But I think the first album, it was really influenced. Back then I was 17. Hip hop, you know, soul music, bit of raga. I listen a lot to Damian Marley as well, you know. So it's a bit, I think, the combination of those three genres. Just, I think, just, you know, discovering more people, you know, meeting more people, having more experience live. It's been a while that I did it solo, you know. I've been on tour with the band for a long time in Europe, so it's big. It's again a challenge to do something different live solo, you know. So that's gonna be it. And for the rest, you know, I always try to do my very best, and it's gonna be a long tour. So I hope every show is gonna be really good.
Dear Ragamuffin is one of the friend. What you see is what you really did in the end. But what you gonna do, I don't know. And dear Ragamuffin shall not fall down. Cause see is the wisdom of a not fool around. So why don't you feel good to see on the ground? Chase!
Yeah, you know, it's the first time, like I said, in Canada, and I've been checking it out yesterday because I arrived yesterday, and we had a whole day, and we went renting bikes and checked it out, the whole yeah, not the whole thing of course, but a part of it, and it was really cool. It was really cool, and I heard the people are really nice here, you know. Yeah, so I don't know what it's gonna be. I'm looking forward to it. Man. Life, you know, life or life?
Like life.
The life in general. I think life is, you know, where you have like I saw, like back there, you have so many people. It's crazy. I mean, you have so many people in the world. I think everybody has to find out for themselves what their goal is, you know, what their path, because we're just here and we try to make it happen, or make yourself happy, you know. So you have to find out what are the things that make you happy and go for that. And for the rest, I think that's a bit the goal of life, filling it in as the way you want it, and yeah, like that.
Dear Ragamuffin is a one of the friend. What you see is what you really did in the end. But what you gonna do, I don't know.